Coding made easy.
So what's up everybody, and welcome to your next C# Monogame made easy tutorial. And majority of the people said that they wanted to actually start working the tile map editor. So we're gonna get into the tile map editor, and then we're gonna actually convert our project to a monogame project and port it to a multiple amount of OSs. And then we're going to continue from then on, add in some NPCs, add in some enemies, battle systems, quest system, event system, all that cool stuff. Before I even start with this tutorial, on tutorial number 16, the previous tutorial, a person by the name of Sam Germano made a comment, which was a comment about a certain way that the player class and the map class could be done. And it's an interesting topic, and if you guys want to apply your map and your play like that, then like feel free to do that. He has some good insight. And yeah, I encourage you guys, just like Gutting 12 and Sam Germano, if you guys have any input, just make sure you give your input. So anyways, to get started, we're going to be using one of the samples from the from the XNA website. Sorry about this. Okay, cool, it's changing. So we're going to type in Winforms sample, and we'll just do XNA, and it should be the first one. And we could do all this by ourselves, but there's no point in reinventing the wheel, right? We just want to get an XNA window rendering in a Winforms window. We actually don't want to actually code all the background code for that. Now, if you want to learn all the background code and understand how it's running, then it's up to you, but we don't actually need that. So once you download that, you have two options. So you can start a brand new project to use your tile map editor in, or you can include it in this solution. If you'd like to include it in this solution, you just right click the solution and click add, and you add a new project, and you're going to use a Winforms. So you go to Windows, click Winforms application. So that's for you guys if you want to include in your project, or if you guys want to include in another project, then it's up to you. Right now, I guess I'll just do it in a new project, just to show you how to do it if you want to start a new project. So if we want to do it in a new project, we're going to click Windows, and we're going to call this, we'll call it tile editor, tile map editor. Oh, I already created it because I was trying a bunch of things. Just say tile map editor YouTube. Now, before I even continue with this tutorial series again, one thing that you have to note is that this code isn't going to be the most optimized or most efficient code. The purpose of this tutorial, and it's not going to have every little last detail that a professional tile map editor has. It's going to be a fairly basic tile map editor. This is kind of like diverting from the actual RPG series. This is just going to show you how to basically get started, how to render your map, how to have a tile sheet on one side so you can crop out a tile sheet and undo and redo options, like very basic operations. It's not going to be anything amazing. And so I want you guys to keep that in mind. I'm going to keep it very simple, and then if you guys want to add in certain features, then it's up to you guys to add that in. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to have, we have our form right here. And what we want to do is we need to import some code from the XNA sample. So we're going to say add, in our project, we're going to say add existing item. And we want to go to our Winforms sample. So let's see where it is. And in our Winforms sample, we have three things that we need: graphics device control, graphics device service, and service container, and we add those to the project. And those are the only three things we need, and we're gonna change them to our correct namespace. So we're gonna say tile map editor YouTube, and we'll just highlight over here, rename it. So rename it for all our classes. So that's all we need. So now we need to actually oh, I'm not sure why this is happening right here. Oh, cause we've got to add in some references. But before we even add in some references, we want to be able to use the content pipeline so we can actually load in fonts and all that cool stuff. So fonts and images. Well, we don't really need fonts to load in images. And we don't really need the content pipeline to load in images, but it is a lot easier, and we don't really want to use the Winforms solution. Basically, well, it's not really a Winform solution, but we don't want to use an alternate solution because we're already used to the XNA way of doing stuff. And so what we're going to do is, to our solution, we're going to add in a new project. And we're going to go to XNA Game Studio, and we're going to open a content project. Now, to the people that are adding this to their current project, that you don't need to do this, because whenever you make a Windows game, it creates a content project and all that stuff for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're just going to call it content, and we're going to create a new project, and we'll call it library, and we'll call it content library. And don't worry about that error. It's just saying that XNA is not recognized on my platform, but it still works. So anyways, we can get rid of that. And so we have all these things set up, and we have to get our references. So we have to add in a few references. So we have to add a reference to, well, this is my recent references, but I'll tell you how to really get them. So you're gonna go to assemblies, and you're gonna go to extensions. And where is the XNA framework? Right there. So we want the XNA framework, we want the game, we want graphics, and I think that's all we need for now. If we need something else, we can add that in later. And we also want to add in a reference to our, if we click solution, we want to add a reference to our content library. And people that are adding it to an existing project, you guys want to do that as well. And what we're going to do in our content library is we're going to say add a content reference, and we're going to add in our content. And that should be good enough for us. And we should not have any errors. Yeah, we shouldn't have any errors now. So if we build it, everything it builded correctly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do something fairly quick. This tutorial, I don't want it to be too long. So we're going to do something fairly quick. So this is our design, our form design, and what we want to do is we want to create a brand new class, and we'll call this class editor or something. It doesn't need to be public. And we're going to inherit from graphics device control, and we're going to just implement these. So it has two protected override methods. So in the graphics device control class, they are they're virtual methods, and this is where we're gonna call our initialize stuff and our draw stuff. And we're not going to be really implementing anything in there. We're just going to build the project, and we see build succeeded. Now, once you actually build the project, you should see something like this in your toolbox. So I'm going to move the toolbox over here just so you can see it, and you should see something that says Tom App Editor U2 right here, and it should say the class's name. So since we're in the class editor, we'll see the class name there. So we're just going to drag this here and place it right there, and let me put this back here. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna build it, we'll run it, and as you can see, we got this window right here. And the reason why it's not sky blue is because we actually never set it to do anything like that. So what we can do is in the draw command, we'll say graphics device.clear, and we'll just include the Microsoft framework. And we'll say color dot cornflower blue. And if we run this one more time, so voila, we've gotten our game window right here. So we've gotten some stuff set up. So that's it for this tutorial. We've gotten a window, and you can already see that we can do a lot of stuff with it. So it's gonna be, the way we're gonna code it is gonna be a little less traditional than we normally we've done it, like with the load content, unload content, and all that stuff. We're gonna be doing it a bit differently. Might not be the most efficient way to do it, but we're gonna get some stuff on the screen, and if you want to modify it or make it suit your needs, that's fine. My job is what I'm aiming to teach you guys is what you need to do, like the different steps on how to get something, and you can decide on how to implement it. But anyways, that's it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye for now.